Here, let me show you something to do real quick, just so you can see this, right? So, I gotta back it up. Hold on. All right, let me back it up. So what I do is I get my edit, right? I have my edit here. So then I take this whole thing and I move it. I mean, it could hold Alt, so I don't want to mess with the audio, but whatever. I drag it up 2 layers. Hopefully you can see that. Let me close this just to get it out of the way. So what I'll do is I will take this background that I pre-made, right? And I'll drag it here. And what I'll do is I'll drag it all the way to the right and all the way to the left. And so this background that I have created is a perfect loop. It's about a minute, maybe less. It's actually less than a minute. It's like 50, you know, whatever, 49 seconds, something, right? But it's a perfect loop. So if I were to take this, copy it, and paste it right after itself, the text is actually moving, right? You see it moving here in the top. But when it reaches the loop, it's a perfect loop where it just stays exactly where it was at. So this whole clip is a perfect loop. So what I would do is I would get my regular video clip here. It ended up being this edit ended up being 43 seconds, right? So I will make sure that this is all the way to the left at the very beginning, stretched out as far as it can go to the left and all the way to the right. So it's the full length of the clip. And actually the speed of the clip right now is at 121.13%. And that's because of a previous edit. But actually, if I were to put this at like 100%, now I was wrong. The clip actually is a perfect minute. It's a perfect minute loop, which is the max length for a short on YouTube, right? So it's over the amount here. I want it to end right here. So what I would do is I would take this and go to speed and go like, let's say 125, right? Okay, it's shorter now. Not short enough. Try 135. Okay, that's even shorter. Still not short enough. So let's go 140, and this is going to be too short, right? So somewhere between 140 and 135. So it's going to be like 137, right? Oh, it's close now, but it's still too big. So I got to make it a little faster. So 137.5. Oh, that's way too short. So 137.2. Okay, still not long enough. 137.1 is going to be too big. So I would go 137.15. And what do you know? It's the perfect length. So if I were to loop this clip now, I take all of this, copy, insert, paste it, and as it loops right here, well, this is a perfect loop. The video is not a perfect loop because I didn't make this video into a loop. But anyway, the trolling profit part is a perfect loop. And it will look more like a perfect loop if the video was a perfect loop. But in this case, the video is not a perfect loop because it starts off with 4 people here healing up and running, and it ends with just me walking out the gate. So in order to create some kind of better loop, I'd have to go in there and really edit things, and it's not worth it for this particular clip. It doesn't have to be a perfect loop. I do it when I can. I will make a perfect loop, but I don't always do it, and I don't always need to. Anyway, so I will pull I will put a black video layer here, and I will have a crop on it. So I'll go here to my effects, put a crop on this and on the black layer. And let's see, there's the black layer. And I will set my crop. It's too much now, but I'll set it to where it's just like, let's say 23. It depends on the size of your video. Like, so let's say my video clip here is like, 50%. Now the black bars from the crop are too much. But in this case, my video clip is at 70%. So my black bars, I have 23 here. Let's try 23 here. It needs a little more or less, whatever the numbers are, doesn't matter. It's just eyeballing where I want this black bar to look. And in this case, I'm going to match both to 22.5. So you can see that as you zoom into the picture, I have black bars above and below the picture, which to me looks better than this. I like it because it separates it puts the picture in a frame. I think it looks more pleasant to watch it like this, right? So you watch it and it's got the black bars, so it separates the trolling profit background from, oh, there it is. Wait, there it is. From the actual video. I gotta go for them. This is probably gonna get me killed, but I saw 2 glyphs. There's one. Yay, I actually got one finally. Can you actually get 2 in one map? There's another one. Yes! You can get 2 in a game. Oh, this gate's not open. All right, well, that's it. I just wanted to show you that how I make this loop actually fit. I changed the speed of it. That's one way to do it. And then also the black bars. I feel like the black bars might be a little big. So let's say we're to change this to 23 and 23. That's a little more subtle. Like, let's look at it. So what were they at? They were at 22.5, I think. Yeah. So let's try 22.6. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. These are fine. I'm just being picky now, but I didn't want them to be too fat, the black bars, the frame. I don't want them to be too big, because if they're too big, then they're just like, they're awkward and they're a big distraction. I want them to be subtle. Like, they're almost not there, but they're there just to separate. Because once again, I think it looks better like that than it does like this. Because there's a separation. It puts the picture in a frame. It looks nice, symmetrical, clear separation. Anyway, that's my little spiel about that. Like I said, if the video was a perfect loop, which it's not in this case, then you wouldn't notice anything breaking, because when it passes this loop point right here, see the trolling profit is still just moving exactly the same. Because otherwise, if you did it, like, I'll just show you, if I were to take this and make it 100%, right? And I were to just put it here and then just drag it to the end and fit it like that. So now when I loop the video, sorry, there's so many layers. I made everything so big. Okay, so now when I loop the video, obviously you're going to see what I'm talking about. But as you loop the video, you're going to see the trolling profit is going to like flicker glitch right here. See, it just moved because it's not in the same exact spot. It just popped. No, that's not a huge deal. But once again, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to those things. So I did it with the speed/duration, and mine is set at 137.15. So it's very detailed on what the number is, because if it was 137.16, it's going to be let's do 137.1 whatever. Let's try 0.17, right? Oh, it's not really changing much, but let's say we're to do it 137.18, right? I don't know what I'm doing now. Something's not working now, but am I messing things up? 137.2. 137.3. Okay, so there you go. Now it's like shrinking. So if it was 137.1, it's too big. 137.2 is all of a sudden it fits. I don't know. I did something now, but it should be a perfect loop for the most part. Anyway, my point is you'd have to get in there and find the exact, because it's going to 137.19, whatever. Close enough. It should be a perfect loop. That's the point I'm trying to make. You would have to narrow down the number, see what's too big, see what's too small, and then you watch and it's perfect. And so similarly, I would do things like that with the music, not actually with the speed. I'd have to do it differently with music if I wanted music to be a perfect loop, but similar concept. I would have to manipulate something to make the music be a perfect loop, whether I have to manipulate the video to match the tempo of the music, or manipulate the music by cutting down beats. I'm not going to show you that right now because that's more complicated to do with the music, but this was just to show how you can make this thing loop easily with the video, with the length of the video. But that's that. I was trying to make something short. It's still kind of short, so there you go.